Good morning. Oh, I hope you had a great sleep. I had an amazing sleep. After being grumpy yesterday, I went to bed early and I watched some shows and then I fell asleep and I woke up and I was so rested. You ever have one of those days where you just wake up and you're like, oh, this is awesome? Some days I've been where you wake up and you're like, oh, I can't even get out of bed. I'm so tired. But today I'm just full of energy and excited to read to you again today. It's Saturday, and people are saying, well, are you going to still read on a Saturday? To be honest with you, it's not like I got other things to do other than clean my room and do my laundry and then maybe shovel if it snows and then clean up after myself, and I have to clean the bathroom, so I'd rather be doing this because I clean the bathroom and then somebody uses it and they got to clean it again. So I'm just kind of avoiding it. Had to make my bed before, like not make it out of wood and stuff like that, but I had to make my bed because you know what I found? If I wake up and I make my bed, then I feel better when I go to bed. It sounds really weird, hey, that I would go to yeah, would make it right. And then I make a list. So the first thing I do is when I make a list, I do this. I start making yeah. I do that and I write make a list when I'm making a list, and then I can cross that off, and then I've done something on my list already. Because with my ADHD, it's really hard for me to do concentrate on a lot of stuff. A squirrel just ran by our window here. So, by the way, that's ADD. So, what was I talking about? Oh, ADD. So when I have ADD, and when you have it like I do, it's hard when you have a whole bunch of things that you need to do, and you're not making a list. So what I do is I make a list, a short list, right? I can make 2 or 3 short lists, but I have to make a short list. Like, so on my list is going to be, I'm going to do clean my room, and then I'm going to do laundry and read books. That's what I'm going to do, read books. So, books. So that's what I do. I write that on my list, and those are the 3 things that I'm going to do because today those are the most important things. And then I'll get those done, and I'll feel really good about making a list. If I make a really, really, really long list, right, that it doesn't get done, and then I feel bad. So I start making really short lists. Sometimes my list is just wake up and then go to bed. So that's my whole day sometimes. Huh? So, oh my goodness, look at these. Looks like somebody stapled some otters to my head. That was a big hair. Oh, oh, oh. Oh yes, on my list all the time is be silly. So, good morning to everybody. I was asked to maybe not read the book straight away when I got here because some people need to, tune in. But guess what I found out? Lots of people from all over are listening and tuning in. Clearwater, Manitoba, Russell, Manitoba, Inglis, Manitoba, and in Inglis is Connor and Blaze and Maylin, 3 of my favorite people. Don't tell anybody else. And then there's Emma from Esterhazy, I know, is watching. And then there's another Emma from Birds Hill, which is not too far away from where we live. It's over here. It's over Dale. That's where Emma lived. It's Birds Hill. It's just over here. It's not a hill made out of birds. I was very disappointed the first time I went there. I thought it was a hill made of birds, but it's not. It's a Birds Hill. There's an apostrophe S, I think. And Mesa, Arizona. Little Johnny Chandler is watching from Mesa, Arizona, Delray, Manitoba, and Texas, all over Saskatoon. I know that Raven and Kim are watching from Saskatoon, and my little buddy Maya is right here from Winnipeg, and Spencer, my buddy Spencer, is out there, and Danica as well. She's my niece. We've decided she is my niece. She is. I was just like, didn't know, like, because they're all I'm not very good at mathematics. And Benito, my little buddy Bennett, is here as well. And having, oops, you know what I forgot to do? I have to, hopefully it didn't glitch there because I forgot to put my phone on silent. So let's try that. Oh no, we'll just leave it. Whatever happens, happens. So that's my list. I should have put that on my list. Put phone on silent. Oh, it's actually here. Put phone on silent, and I didn't do it. Okay, so today I'm going to read the book. So Nikki Payne, who's one of my favorite people in the world, your parents are going to love her, and she's just awesome. She's from, and then she wrote it out here on Grand Berchois, New Brunswick. So Grand, either Berchois, I don't know, Bearclaw, maybe she lives in Bearclaw, New Brunswick. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but that's what it is. And little Daryl Cottle is joining us from Saskatoon as well. I'm going to read this book. We should probably get at her. It's called The Book with No Pictures. So there's nothing to show you. Somebody said, do not read this book ahead of time. Michelle and Glenn from Duels Muffler are buddies of mine, and this is their grandson's favorite book. So they said, don't read it ahead of time. So there's no pictures. So it's by B.J.Novak. That's who wrote it, so that's great. And the illustrator is, well, I guess there wouldn't be an illustrator because there's no pictures. For those of you that don't know, an illustrator draws pictures, and no pictures, no illustrator. You see how I put those two together? Oh, my buddy Gord is there. He's deaf, so hey, Gord, I love you, my friend. There you go. I only know that much for a sign language. I also know this. I know... I love turtles. I don't know why I know that. So, here we go. Book with no pictures. And that'll be the last time I have to hold this up. So here we go. B.J. Novak's book. A book with no pictures. Let's put these on. This is a book with no pictures. It might seem like no fun to have someone read you a book with no pictures. It probably seems boring and serious, except here's how the books work. Everything the words say, the person reading the book, has to say. Well, if you're listening in Hanover, Ontario, I have to read everything the book says. No matter what. Oh, I might have gotten myself into a wee bit of trouble. I should have read this book ahead of time. Oh, I just poked myself in the eye. There. I'm a pirate now with the wrong hat. That's the deal. That's the rule. So that means even if the words say bork, bork. Wait, what? That doesn't even make any sense. It doesn't mean anything. Blurf, blurf, blurf. Wait a second, what? This isn't the kind of book I wanted to read. And I have to say, every word the book says, do I have to read every word the book says? Are you sure? I could pick a different book, but I could just get another book. I got a whole bunch of books. Read this one. Uh-oh. I am a monkey that taught myself how to read. Hey, not a monkey. And now I'm reading you this book with my monkey mouth and my monkey voice. I don't know what a monkey voice would be. How about this one? Monkey voice. I got a monkey voice. That's not true. I'm not a monkey. You'll have to read it in my monkey voice. Yes, I am a monkey. Also, I am a robot monkey. I am a robot monkey. What? My bananas have batteries in them. D-cell. And my head is made out of blueberry pizza. Wait a second. This whole book? Is this a trick? Can I stop reading? This is, can I stop? I just want it, but there's no pictures. Would you rather see pictures? Oh, no. No. My friend wrote that her son Justin was listening to me the other night in the tub and he laughed. Well, if there was no bubbles, he didn't laugh hard enough. So now I can just stop reading this book? Fine. And now it's time for me to sing you my favorite song. Do I have to read? Really? Okay, here we go. Glug, 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 my face is the bug. I eat ants for breakfast right off the rug. Glug, 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 my face is the bug. I eat ants for breakfast off the rug. I like this book. This book is ridiculous. Contrary to what I just said, this book is ridiculous. Can I stop reading it? No. There are more pages. There's lots more pages. Do I have to read the rest? Can I just do something? Please do something different. Hey, you know what? I'll get back to this book in a second. I can sing another song for you if you want, and I'm good at this one because I know most of the words. My little nephew, Slade, it's his birthday. So on the count of 42, let's all sing happy birthday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 42. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Slade. Happy birthday to you. You look like a monkey, you belong in a zoo. Back to the book. My only friend in the whole wide world is a hippopotamus named Boo Boo Butt. Boo Boo Butt. In a monkey voice. My only friend in the whole world is a hippopotamus named Boo Boo Butt. Boo Boo Butt, Boo Boo Butt. And also, the kids I'm reading this book to are the best kids ever in the history of the entire world. In the entire world. These kids are the best in the whole entire world. It says kid there, but I added S because I know there's a whole bunch of other kids. Kids. Kenny, my buddy Kenny Robinson's watching from all the way from Toronto. Love you, Kenny. These kids that I'm reading this book to are the smartest kids too, because this kid chose the book even though it has no pictures. Oh, that's an echo. What? Turn that off. Because kids know this book makes grown-ups have to say silly things. Silly things in the monkey voice. And make silly sounds like, oh no, here it comes. They added drama. Silly sounds like bum bum bum. Oh my God. For a guy that's got dyslexia, this may take a little bit. Dyslexia and ADD. Here we go. Glurp, jawako, mocker, thrumpa, do, aye, baronk, drum, tunk, eem, blaggity, gibbly, globbly, beep, boop, ba, do, noggy, face. I recognize face. Oh my goodness. Please don't ever make me read this book again. It is so silly. In fact, it is completely and utterly preposterous. It's porcupinous. Preposterous. Next time, please choose a book with pictures. Please. Will you choose a book with pictures? Please. because this is too ridiculous to read. The end. Bonk. I didn't want to say that, but the book made me. That was an awesome book. A book with no pictures. I'm a monkey. I am a monkey. Robot monkey. Oh, did you like that one? Henley, did you like that one? Awesome, awesome. I am now going to read a book that somebody wrote in. I think it might have been Peyton that asked me to read this book. I can't get out of the being so silly mode. I don't think you ever want to stop being silly. Well, you know what? There's time to be silly, and then there's time to be serious, right? So sometimes we can be super silly, and then we can be serious. So when I'm reading to kids, which I love to do, I go to schools during I Love to Read Month, which is in February here in Manitoba. I think it's February right across Canada. I don't know. But I read books. And then, of course, I read to the littlest kids first. Kindergarten kids. I got to tell you a little story. So I went to a Birds Hill School. And I think it was Birds Hill School. But I met one of my favorite little dudes there at kindergarten class. I walk up and I go to sit down, and this girl just says to me, "I'm a vampire." And I said, "Okay, during the day. Good job for you, right?" And this little boy uncrisscrosses applesauce. I don't call it crisscross applesauce. I call it pop my knees, help me up. Somebody help me up. And so he comes up to me and he whispers in my ear like this. He goes, "Mr. Tazzy, she's not really a vampire, so please don't be scared." And I said, "Oh, okay. But you know what? She's been very sad, and when she pretends she's a vampire, it makes her very happy. So can you please pretend she's a vampire?" And I said, "Oh, for sure." I said, "But I'm scared." I said, "I'm really scared." And he says, "Why are you scared?" I said, "Well, what if she bites me?" And he looks at me like this, and he goes, "You'll be okay. You don't have a neck." I said, "Pardon me? You don't have a neck?" And I said, "What do you mean I don't have a neck?" He goes, "If I was going to draw you, I would draw a circle like this, and then another big circle on the bottom, and then 2 sticks for legs. Because that little circle would be your head, and then the big circle would be your belly." I said, "I understand. Okay." So I went home and I told my wife, Chris, and Kyler, my youngest one, that's his name, that's why I call him that story. And he laughs. And I said, "Why are you laughing?" And he goes to my office and he pulls out a picture that he had drawn. And it was a big circle like this. It drew a picture of me, and it was a circle like that, and then a circle at the bottom like that, and that was sort of erased and crossed out, and then a bigger circle was drawn, and 2 legs underneath like that. And he goes, "Dad, you look like the fraction 8/11. What am I going to do? So I'm going to read a book. Jerry Barrett's here. Jerry is an awesome singer and a comedian as well. And he's a good buddy of mine. I've known Jerry for a long time. Long time. This is a book. It's not Halloween, but I like reading this book here. It is called Inside a House That is Haunted. I'll try to make sure that I get the picture. It's a book that it's just awesome. Oh, it's written by Scholastic. No, it's not written by Scholastic. It's written by Alyssa, Satin. Oh, I thought it said Satan there for a second. Alyssa, Satin, Capucilli. I think that's how it is. And it's illustrated by Ted Arnold. So if I get your name wrong, I'm very sorry, because that's sort of what I do. Do I need these to read this? Inside a House That is Haunted. Here is a house that is haunted. Here is the hand that knocked on the door on the house that is haunted. Here is the hand that knocked on the door that startled the spider that dropped to the floor inside a house that is haunted. Here is the hand that knocked on the door that startled Sorry. Here is the hand that knocked on the door, that startled the spider, that dropped on the floor, that frightened the ghost, who awoke and cried, "Boo!" inside a house that is haunted. My wife thinks she's funny. Oh, pardon me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I felt something sort of I wasn't worried about a ghost. I thought it was a spider. That was what I was more scared about. Oh, here, I'll tell you a little story. So we're in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, way far away, where my buddy Tommy lives, and we were at a car show. And we were there, and a guy, great big guy like that, all tattoos. He had a tattoo up the side of his neck and stuff like that. And he had a gun because everybody, not everybody, but you're allowed to carry a gun in the States, right? So, and he goes, and he's really tough, great big arms, like just monster, right? We're at the car show. And he says, "There's only two things that I'm afraid of: losing my freedom and losing my gun carry permit." And I went, "And spiders." He goes, "Oh yeah, and spiders." He says, "I can't." Yeah. Okay, back to our regularly programmed book. Here is the hand that knocked on the door, that startled the spider, that dropped to the floor, that frightened the ghost, who awoke and cried, "Boo!" inside a house that is haunted. Did I show you the picture? No, I guess not. It scared me. My heart's still. That might be the bacon. Here is the hand that knocked on the door, that startled the spider, that dropped to the floor, that frightened the ghost, who awoke and cried, "Boo!" surprising the cat, that jumped and squeaked, "Mew!" inside a house that is haunted. It'd be really funny if one of the cats came up at this point in time. We have two cats, because I didn't have a say. Here is a hand that knocked on the door, that startled the spider, that dropped to the floor, that frightened the ghost, who awoke and cried, "Boo!" who surprising the cat, that jumped and screeched, "Mew!" that shook up the bats, that swooped through the air, inside a house that is haunted. Here is the hand that knocked on the door, that startled the spider, that dropped to the floor, that frightened the ghost, who awoke and cried, "Boo!" surprising the cat, that screeched and went, "Mew!" that shook up the bats, that swooped through the air, who jolted an owl and called, Who's there?" inside a house that is haunted. Here is the hand that knocked on the door, that startled the spider, that dropped to the floor, that frightened the ghost, who awoke and cried, "Boo!" surprising the cat, that jumped and screamed, "Mew!" that shook up the bats, who swooped through the air, and jolted the owl, that called, Who's there?" that spooked the mummy, who ran with a shriek, inside a house that is haunted. Here is the hand that knocked on the door, that startled the spider, that dropped to the floor, that frightened the ghost, who awoke and cried, "Boo!" surprising the cat, that jumped and screeched, "Mew!" that shook up the bats, that swooped through the air, that jolted the owl, who cried, Who's there?" that spooked the mummy, who ran with a shriek, rattling the skeleton, who moved with a creak, inside a house that is haunted. Here is the hand that knocked on the door, that startled the spider, that dropped to the floor, that frightened the ghost, who awoke and went, "Boo!" that surprising the cat, that jumped and screeched, "Mew!" that shook up the bats, that swooped through the air, that jolted the owl, who cried, Who's there?" that spooked the mummy, who ran with a shriek, rattling the skeleton, who moved with a creak, and who that woke the monster. Uh-oh. Wah, 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 wah. That woke the monster, who stomped on huge feet, who threw open the door and heard, like a trick or treat. Oop, this one first. The monsters are scared of the trick-or-treater. Inside a house that was haunted. Like this? Can you see the pages? I love books that repeat like that. It's one of my favorites too. I read that to kids for Halloween. So, do you have plans for today? I made my list. Did you make your list? Maybe when you're done, you should make a list with your parents or whoever's in charge and make a list. Make sure you put on there. You know what I'm going to put on? I'm going to write clean my room because I got to do that. And I got to do laundry. So laundry. And read books. I can cross off read books. I already read books. So I got 2 things crossed off my list now. And then, oh yeah, I'm going to put be silly and make somebody laugh. And then maybe I'm going to make a craft today. I can't make too long of a list though because I won't get to all of it. But here's what I'm going to do. I want you to always be safe and be silly and be brave and be you. Don't be anything else that you need. Just be you. Because in my world, you know, and all that you say and all that you do, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be you. Lots of love to everybody, and I'll see you tonight around 7:30. How's that sound? Awesome. Bye-bye. Ah! Okay, that one. Stop it.